Before we really get into this game, I want to address something real quick, okay? So huddle into the chat real quick. I don't want you guys to miss this, okay? All right? But the thing about, what was that penalty? The Habs took a slashing penalty, right? Which, was it the Habs took a slash? I don't know what it was. No, the cross check. It was a cross check, right? In front of the net, Habs take a cross-checking penalty. I think it was on Matthews or something like that. Lamest penalty I've seen this whole series. Definitely shouldn't have been, and the Leafs ended up scoring on that power play. So if you're a Montreal fan right now, I get why you're ticked, okay? I get why you're ticked, okay? Trust me, I do. But you know what? We had one of them right before that, and that was the worst penalty I've seen this whole game. Okay? We had a slashing call or something like that where they hit a stick. Okay? Now I know when you hit a guy's stick, if you break his stick from your huge chop, or if you two-hand, like overhead chop a guy's stick, you're gonna get a slashing call for sure. But since when in the NHL can we not slash down on a guy's stick while you're trying to knock the puck loose? Since when can we not do that? Huh? Huh? Somebody want to explain that rule change to me? Oh, there isn't one? Didn't think so, okay? So Montreal fans, before you go too crazy about that stupid cross-check penalty, it was definitely not a penalty, and I don't blame you for being upset. Just remember, we had one of those earlier. The difference is, y'all didn't score, okay? Y'all didn't score, Leafs did. I'm super pumped. I'm super pumped, okay? Oh, that's the kind of game. It's been so long since I felt like in the last 5 minutes of a game, you're pretty much sure that this thing is locked up. You know? Especially with 2 minutes left. Like, once it got down to 2 minutes, I know it's a 4-0 lead, and you're like, oh, how could you not be so sure? Because it's Toronto, man. Like, I try to stay positive, I try to stay in the now, but you can't deny the past, right? The Leafs have had many a times where it looked like something, Steelers knows, where it looks like it was something that was supposed to be a shirt thing, and heck, it was not, right? So straight up, I totally get it. If you felt that way, but I didn't this time. Something felt good about this. I'm like, this is a dominant 4-0 lead. And don't let the shots fool you either, okay? Because the Leafs were heavily in front in the second period, and then by the game, Montreal actually led the game in shots. Now, why? Why, Ryan? I thought they played the much better game, didn't they? Didn't Toronto play the much better game? How did they get less shots? Well, because when you take an early lead that big, this isn't late in the third period where all of a sudden you're up 4 goals. Like, you know what I mean? You got ahead early, okay? You can start laying back. And I don't mean not trying to score, okay? But what I mean is tightening up defensively. What shots did Montreal have that were a threat? Did Campbell ever look like he had to stand on his head once tonight? I mean, he made some good saves. But he made some good saves because he was well positioned and the team was well positioned around him. You got Carey Price down over the other end. I don't know what they expect him to be, okay? But he's doing just fine. I'd like to see a team play in front of him, I'll tell you that. Okay? So, they're going to dump all over Carey Price. That's going to bring the whole mood of the team down, the whole mood of the fans, the whole mood of the media. That's what's going to happen over there. We've seen it enough times in Toronto, okay? Including this season. All right? I ain't having it. I am not with that, man. It doesn't help anything one bit. Carey Price is playing a fantastic game. Now, I got into a nice long debate with somebody earlier today about whether or not he's a superstar. And there was just some confusion in how I was wording things. I don't think he's a superstar necessarily. I don't think he's like, definitely don't think he's at his prime. He's not playing like the Carey Price of old. No, nobody expects that though. By now, when you've played as good as Carey Price, you figure if you stay on the same team long enough, they're eventually gonna build you a team, no? No? Right? Like, think about this, guys. Before you dump on Carey Price after something like this, okay? Just remember, they've had, what, a decade plus? 15 years maybe? To try and get this man a team to play around him. They came close a few times. They had some nice mixtures there with the PK Subban era and stuff like that. Gionta, I think, was in there, something like that. What am I saying? I don't know. Camilleri, and there were some good guys that Montreal had, you know, when they were at their peak rivalry with Boston. But since then, it's just been, let's ride Carey Price. Let's ride him to the ground, you know? Let's ride him till he ain't got no more left. Well, you know what? That time's coming, bro. And you didn't get yourselves a team. Okay? You got some skill, but you got no heart. There's no bond. There's no heart. You know, they need to be able to pull themselves out of this mentally, because that's where Toronto's got the edge right now. I don't even think it's really skill-based. I think it's Toronto is playing this game like they own it. And Montreal is getting frustrated as soon as they're down by, let's say, 2 goals. Tonight they held positive after 1. I really thought they were playing with good spirits. But once they got that 2, it's cheap penalty call. Whistles are going and they're just firing it down the board long after the whistle just because they're frustrated. There's head shaking going on the bench and stuff like that. They were coming apart long before that game was out of reach. Montreal fans, if you're honest with yourselves, you're going to look at that tape. You're going to look at those replays, okay? Especially the full game one if you can. And you're going to see a lot of disappointed, frustrated faces long before that game is out of reach. You can't have that. Not in the playoffs. You can't let those negativity, or you can't let that negative energy creep its way in. You can't. You got to trust in yourselves, and the Leafs have done that this whole series. First game was a little rough, but ever since then, man, they believed in themselves. They're having fun. They're getting their laughs on. They're having a great time. They're enjoying the moment, and it pays off. That's when the creative juices are flowing, man. That's when you're free to move, free to do the things you want to do. If you don't have that confidence in each other, you're not going to have that confidence in yourself, and that's what Montreal is lacking right now. Confidence. Look at those faces on guys like Shea Weber. Hey, man, that guy's been around. How is he getting himself down like this? If he's that down, and you see him on the bench like that, I'm telling you, it's probably the whole team around him. He cannot bring him out of it. Because the veteran guys are supposed to know how to get themselves through this, man. We got a lot of them, and I'm so happy we do, because mark my words, there's going to be a tough situation for the Leafs. Might even be before this series is done. It's not over yet. Right? It might not, it could go to 7. You don't know. I don't know. I don't think it is. But you know what I mean? Like, we don't know. And if something like that happens, I'm glad we have the guys we have to pull themselves out of it, to pull each other out of it. These guys care so much about each other, the Leafs do, that they don't want to lose, not because they don't want to lose. They don't want to let Joe down, right? They don't want to let Vintage down. They don't want to let Campbell down. They don't want to let JT down. You know, it's not about themselves right now. These guys are all playing for each other. They don't want to let the new kids that are just joining in, you know? They don't want to let them down, getting the call-ups and stuff like that. They don't want to let each other down, man. And then those new call-ups, they don't want to be the sinking hole when they show up. You know what I mean? They want to be able to elevate and rise to the challenge and be a part of this Leafs team. They're all playing for each other right now. Now, Montreal can get that back. They can literally get it back by next game. The beauty part about the mental game is if you can somehow manage to get yourself right, it can happen instantly. If something finally clicks in your brain, and as a group, your energies together, if you finally click and vibe and believe in each other, it can happen in that locker room right now. Right now, they could be doing this rallying cry that we don't even know about, and it's going to bond them. You don't know. But until they get that, they're doomed. They're doomed. They better show up in Game 4 or Game 5, if they want to have a chance against Toronto. They better come with their minds right. They got to come like they actually want to be there, that they know they can win, not that they're just hoping they don't lose. Make sense? That they got to walk into our building if they want to have a chance at this and feel like, what are we doing? This is ridiculous. We're back here again. We could have finished this off by now or something. You know what I mean? You know, you got to get mad at yourselves and realize, this isn't so scary. But they did not. They did not. And I hope they don't. I hope they don't. I hope this causes their team to go into decades worth of just last place teams. And I hope that they start losing ticket sales. And I hope that their team has to relocate to Arkansas. The Arkansas Canadiens. You know what I mean? Or they can go down to like New Orleans and then become like the New Orleans Acadians. That's not bad. Trademark Ryan Trauma. Okay? But that's where I'm at with this. I don't even want to talk about the Leafs. There's really not much to talk about other than the fact that they just played well. They played well the whole time, you know? Is their penalty kill a problem? Well, not so much anymore, is it? I mean, power play. You know, is their power play a problem right now? Nope. Even if they didn't score at all? Nope. You know? So, I don't think Montreal is talent-wise out of this. There's no reason why they can't put on a good performance in game 5. Get my numbers all mixed up. There's no reason why they can't put on a great performance in game 5 and really make a series out of this. But I'm telling you, it starts here. If they don't get this right, the Leafs are going to walk all over them. The Leafs are going to walk all over them if they can't get their minds right for this next one. And don't be looking at no Carey Price, is all I'm saying. Okay, guys? So, is that enough ranting for you? I'm just hyped up, man. This is crazy. This is like history for me. Right? We're so close, but so far. So no cockiness, right? Just confidence. Confidence, not cockiness, right? And get your chirps in now, man. Get your chirps in now because you don't know what the series holds tomorrow. So if you know some Habs fans that you're friends with, man, get your licks in now because you don't know if you're going to have that chance next time, right? Yes, we do. Yes, we do because we believe, right? Okay, well, that's what I'm saying about the game. Okay, now as always, I want to turn it over to the chat and see what you guys are saying. I see some new faces and new names in there, so we'll have to get to that. And I'm looking forward to hearing about it, guys. If you're watching this on YouTube, what's your problem? Come out live after the games. This is where the action's at, okay? That way you get to have your say.